Hello everybody, my name is Bill Pear and this is Runner in Development. This week we're going to cover off flat feet and high arches. And so, flat feet and high arches, what are my views on it and what do I think about it? Well basically, amazingly, I only found out probably maybe less than a year ago that I actually had flat feet. Up till then I didn't realise it. I always thought I had high arches, but I didn't realise I had flat feet. And so how I found out was that I was having problems with my ankles, and I went to the physiotherapist, and the physiotherapist made me walk up and down and said, yeah, you've got flat feet, which was a revelation to myself. And the way it affected me was that when I was out running, I was getting some pain in my ankles, and my ankles were effectively flaring up, and they were starting, the way, so you could see the bones of your ankles protruding through the skin, and that would start to disappear, and I was getting inflammation in my leg, and it was causing me a real problem. And each time I would get it in the past, usually what would happen was it would sideline me for some time, and I'd give up running, and I might give up running for a long time before I'd go back. So I went to the physiotherapist, and she got me to walk up and down, as I said, and she said, yes, you've got flat feet. And so what she did then was she explained to me that it's some people have flat feet and some people have high arches, and I'll just show you. I have a picture here just to kind of just to show you what I mean here. So you can see here in this photograph here, you can see here that you can have a normal arch and a flat arch, and obviously I had the bottom arch there. So the way what she basically did was she would massage my legs. So she told me that because I'd been doing quite a bit of running, and the inflammation was acting up. What it was doing was it was creating a lot of strain and stress in my legs. So my legs are very tight. So she did a lot of massage. But also what she did was I asked her what was the solution, and she said in worst case scenarios you tend to have injections you need to get injections into your legs of cortisone to solve the problem, and people get inserts created especially to put into their shoes to help support their arches. But she basically said to me that that's all that's a last resort, that you only really gone down that road because A, the arches can be very expensive, and B, the injections as well are last minute, that you don't really want those because you can kind of get locked into having to use them. So her solution to me was very straightforward, and what she wanted to do was before each run I had to strap up my feet. So what I needed to do was I needed to apply to my feet. What she wanted to do is create a support that lifted my ankle using tape, and she applied the tape to the area around my little toe, and then she would pull it round under my foot, up under the arch, and then back over my foot, and then wrap it around my ankle. So I'm sure there's plenty of videos on physiotherapists doing this on YouTube, so I won't bother going into it now. But effectively what she did is, by doing that, it created a support for the arch in my foot while I was out running. And when I did do it, it was very comfortable, and I could really feel the support. And what that did then was it meant that I could carry on running without having to kind of give up the running. Now I had to take it easy, and every time I did run, if I tried running without the tape, I did feel it, and it did affect me. So I in my mind I thought I'm going to be running with strapped up feet for months and years probably, but it wasn't. It was a couple of months, and I invested in a fair bit of tape, and it did the trick. It was cheaper and cheerful than using cortisone injections, and cheaper and cheerful than getting the inserts made. So effectively she gave me this thing here. So this is a barrier that goes onto your skin here. So it's a kind of very fine kind of tape, and you put that onto your skin, and you wrap that around your skin. And what this just basically protects your skin from the tape, because the tape is very sticky, and when you pull off the tape, it pulls off skin, hair, whatever, right? So it can be a bit of fun and games when you're doing this. And this is the tape here, so you can buy it in bulk, and it's just very sticky. So when you're running, this stuff will stay gripped to your foot, and it's very strong and it's very resistant to sweat. So I've done a lot of running in it and it never come off. The other thing I'd suggest you invest in is one of these scissors, because actually trying to apply the tape can be a little bit fiddly. So what you need is one of these scissors here that cuts through the tape very well. It's very, very effective. So I did that for a few months and it worked really, really well. I was very happy with it. And slowly but surely, I started to wean myself off. I was using less tape, and then I would start trying to run without it. And if I thought I had any issues, I would use the tape, and that's really it. So I recommend that you use the tape. Go to your physiotherapist, obviously, see what they have to say. I was also curious because I honestly didn't believe that this was going to work. I didn't think that this was going to be the trick, and I thought I needed arches to support myself. So I got these things here, these kind of foot balance arches, and effectively what you do is you stand on this cushion in these things when they're heated, and it molds into the shape of your foot, and then you put it in. So you can see there, you can see the arch. You can see its support. So instead of using the tape like I was using, you can invest in this thing here. Now, it didn't work for me. It didn't. Now, they have a money back guarantee with them, that if after a month it doesn't work, you can get your money back. And I never bothered going back about the money. But I didn't find them any good. I found them, you had to take the insole of your runner out, you had to put them in. That was a bit of a problem. And if anything, I felt it affected my gait and put a little bit of pressure on my knees. And subsequently, I noticed that I was getting ITB issues. Now, I'm not saying that it was linked, but I did start to have issues with my knees around that time. Possibly all linked as well to having not built up enough strength in my legs. So I'm glad to say that that has all worked. Another thing that I did as well. So sorry, I was just reading my notes there, just to remind me to what I was trying to say. Another thing that I did was obviously invested in runners that are designed to support people who pronate and supinate and stuff like that, right? So these are the things that I got, and you can see there's a whole load of support in here as well. And what this support does again is keeps your feet stable when you're running, and helps you and helps to support your arch. Now the downside is they weigh a ton. That's the problem. They're very heavy, and they're very effective and stuff like that. And you're out running, and you can really feel that they are supporting your feet, but they're quite heavy. And since I'm kind of sorting out my legs and sorting out my ankles, I've invested in these guys here. So these are a different animal altogether. You can see it's much lower support, but these things are as light as a feather, and that's really what I'm after, and very flexible. And that's what I really want to do. So I'm trying to get away from having any issues, so I can wear the footwear of my choice. The other ones are excellent as well, but what I really want are lighter shoes. So I'm glad to say that over time that the issues have faded away with regards to my arches. Oh, the other thing as well, because I have high arches, I don't put. I basically run the laces here and here, and what I do is I don't have this part laced. If I lace this part, I can really feel it, because my arches are in here and they're really pushing up the shoe as well. See, so that is a bit of a problem. But not lacing up your shoes like that is a nice little trick that really helps people with high arches. So I'm glad to say that the issues have faded away over time, and it seems to be linked. It seems to be a genetic thing. In that some people have high arches and some people don't, and some people have flat feet and some don't. And it's also a leg strengthening thing as well, where you need to build up the strength in your legs. So that's basically really it. So my only advice is go to your physiotherapist if you're having these kind of issues, and they will probably strap up your leg. And if that's not working, what she said to me was, then I probably would have to go and get cortisone injections. And I was fully on to doing that. I hadn't got a problem with doing that. She seemed very hesitant to send me to do that. She said it was like a last resort totally, and she thought we could solve it this way. Obviously, she was speaking from experience, and I was new to this, and I didn't probably really fully trust her. Hence, I went out and bought runners and all that stuff as well, whereas I could have saved a lot of money for myself and just stuck to using the tape. So that's really it. There's nothing else more for me to cover, I don't think, on this. If you have any questions, you can send them along, and maybe I can give you the feedback of my experience and so on. So again, that's really it for this week. So thanks for watching the video, and I hope you like it. And if you do subscribe and like, that means a lot to me. And again, I will see you next week. Take care. Bye bye.